Hello. Hello. Yeah. No, I'm a little busy. I'm hanging out with my friends and some of people. Yeah, we hang out every day. Almost. Yeah, no, I just cannot talk to you. Yeah, maybe I'll call you later and we can just talk then. I'm in a very important session with some of my friends. Yeah, bye. Hello. How are you? So today I was returning back from the internship which I'm doing in this one law firm, and I received some heavy work for the weekend. And there's a deadline which is supposed to be tomorrow evening, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do this because I know how to do this, but I hate deadlines, and I don't find it interesting. And it makes sense when deadlines are limited to your work. I like when there's a work given to you and someone says that, hey, this is the deadline and this is when you're supposed to be ready with the work. Wait, let me adjust the lights a bit so that you can see me. I'm shining. Okay, so I was given a deadline to do some work and I'm on it. I'm gonna start doing this in the morning. It's night time and I want to be here with me in my video. So when I was in school, I used to feel like, hey, so after school, life is gonna run so fast because I'll be in college, there will be so much stuff, blah, blah, blah. But when I entered college, it was not even that way. There were no pretty boys in my college. Wait, I don't want to talk about that. Okay. So when I entered college, it was completely different. It was of the most not busy I've ever been. And I'm still in college. I'm in my final year. Never mind me playing with my hair so much. But yeah, so this is the truth. We always think of these deadlines that, hey, if I don't achieve this by then, I'm done. It's not me, it's someone else. And this is not my life. This is not what I deserve. But I think it's not true because I feel the only deadline to our life should be death. Like, really, if you look at it in the sense that when you're dying, that's the end of everything in this life. I don't know if you're gonna go to eternity or you're gonna go to God, you're gonna go to heaven, you're gonna go to hell. I don't know that, but I feel that is the end of this life. So I don't think before that you can ever come up to yourself and say that I quit because I didn't achieve this by this age or time. Like, there is nothing. There is no timeline. We as humans, we're supposed to sleep and rest and hunt and eat food and live and enjoy, listen to music, love, breathe. Yes. But since you're born, you're just told that, hey, no, you need to go to school and after that you're gonna go to college, you're gonna get a job. If you don't get a job, you're running out of time. If you're 21, you're old, and if you've reached 25, you must have a job, or you might be doing some of your higher studies, further studies. If you're not doing any of them, you're useless. You're a shithole, and you don't deserve anything. No. You and me, we both are the same, but because of the society, of the system, you're told, it's included in your life that, hey, you're born, now you owe us this. Yes, you. And if you don't do that, we are gonna demean you as an individual. and there's a timeline. By this age you must achieve this, and by this age you must have done this. I like people who reject all these societal ideas and live the life they want to. Some people become something which they have never thought of in their lives when they have reached their 30s or 40s, and they are famous out of nowhere. You're listening to an artist who's, they're posting for like so many years, but today that album got so famous that now they're their 30s and now they're so famous. Or maybe a person who just realized that, hey, I can also paint when they were in their 40s. And they're like, damn, I love such people, because these people have nothing to do with timelines, deadlines, blah, blah, blah. I agree to the fact that when you are working in a system which is set by the society, for example, you're going to a job is a system which was set by this society, and if you're going there, you cannot say, oh, there's no deadline, death is the only deadline. You cannot say that there. But if you are not in that system and you're on your own, then you can say that I can do this, I can become super rich by doing anything later in my life, and maybe if I start right now, why do you want to achieve a certain thing by this age? And if you don't do that, then you feel so shitty when all you could have done was to not think of your age and just do it. I'm not talking about those things like sports and all of that stuff, because I know that thing needs a strength which you have up to a certain age. I agree to that thing. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying, even if you're putting these deadlines onto everything in your life, you're gonna be so miserable. Some people do make good use of it, but it's not always the same thing. Sometimes people put too much pressure on their mind, and they're always surrounded by certain things which are towards a particular goal, that they achieve it because they're so dedicated. I'm not saying don't look on your goals. Look on your goals and do them. Work for them every single day. But all I'm trying to say is not put a deadline in your head that if I didn't do this, by then I'm gonna quit. That's how most of the people who could have become something, who could have achieved something in their lives, or maybe who could have mastered their art, they stop in the middle because they think that, hey, now I've achieved this age, and I don't think that if I continue this, I'm ever gonna be, or maybe this was the limit. If I don't do this by then I'm done. Nobody asked you to do that. I'm not talking about the systems which were set by the society. For example, if I'm going to the internship, I'm like, hey, yes, ma'am, this is the work. She said, hey, give it to me by tomorrow, or maybe after a week, or maybe this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, yes, because this is a system. I come up to this system by my own, and I know that was the system made by the society, so I need to work on their rules, and their rules are deadlines. I know, which is also so healthy for a system to work. Deadlines are really important. But in your life, when you're looking in your life, hey, if I haven't grabbed a job by this, then I'm a shitty person. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why can't you just be a human and try and do stuff without putting yourself over the pressure of achieving certain things by a certain age? Because in the social media, on Instagram Reels, you scroll and you find people your age or maybe like younger than you. Oh, they're billionaires, they're millionaires. Oh my God, your energy is always going out. You're always looking into people's house that, hey, oh, this man achieved this by then, so I'm shitty because I'm not. No, you're not shitty. Your energy is just all going outside. You're not the amount of thoughts and time you are given to other people's life. You're watching them and you're just trying to figure out that time you can put into your life and make yourself better. I used to do that. I still do that. I'm saying all these things to myself as well. And this is not an advisory video or something like that. It's just me having a chat because I love to do this. Yes, absolutely. So all I mean to say is that you and I should stop thinking that, hey, by this age I should be this because some other person in some other part of the world, or maybe near you, they achieved that same thing by this age. So you are now automatically supposed to achieve the same thing before that. No, who even said that to you? I know that when we are in a family, we have responsibilities. Some people get married too soon, which is so sad. For one thing, I'd say they want you to get married soon because they know if it's late in your life, you might never get married. And I convinced my mom that, hey, I don't want to get married. Or maybe if I don't find the person, I'll never get married. Yeah. Because, yeah, this is the truth in this present world, that sometimes we have so many responsibilities. Maybe you're the only person in your family after your parent to hold on and do for your siblings, or I have no idea what you are up to in your life. But please, no matter what you're doing, one most important thing I want you to know is this video is not for people who are not doing anything in their life. All I mean to say is this video is not for people who are not trying in their lives. This is for people who are trying but get overwhelmed and stressed that they haven't achieved a certain thing in this time, and they put these deadlines on their head. Because a person who cares and who tries is the only one who puts some deadlines into their lives, because they're so dedicated and they just want to do something. And I appreciate your spirit. And I want you to take that, but I want you to eliminate this thing from your head that you're aging. Yes, you're aging in this life. Yes, your body and all of that thing. Yeah, but that does not mean you cannot be a good artist when you pass your 30s or 40s. Or maybe there's something within you which you haven't even realized. And you might realize later in your life if you allow yourself. But the only thing that we lose on is we don't allow ourselves, and before allowing ourselves, we quit, which kills the potential. It kills everything.